All right, everybody, here we are, day 6. Let's see what's going on. Been a busy day for me, but here we are. One more track remains, FIA sanctioned road course, short events. Great. Speed record around the short. Do it without going off track. As you can see, I serviced the car. We're on PR86. Let's see what we've got. Once again, let me pause and switch that up for you. No real need to get in too much of a rush. Just take that little section nice and easy, and you should be able to make it pretty comfortably right there. And now just be nice and safe, don't go off the track. And here we are. Now, if you have a little bit of trouble with that, as you can see that what I had was the time shifted multiplayers, and if that is too difficult for you, what you can do is you can put the game in airplane mode, and then that'll be just the team bots. Getting a lot of notifications here because there is a race team event going on today, and so I get a lot of notifications that friends are beating me in all these different portions of all the British tracks. Obviously this right here is of no assistance. I only just barely beat that one. I could have gotten a better start. I didn't run that the best, but didn't beat that by very much. Hunter event on the short course. You have to win by 321 meters. That's not all that hard. If you're too far behind, since there's not a stay on track stipulation here, or at least not that I saw, if you're too far behind, you can just cut the corners on the last major turn. I don't want to do that. I do want to win them clean, just so that everybody who watches the videos can see that these goals are possible to win clean. Having a little bit of trouble with that turn right there because, well, I never actually take that turn. I never do the little chicane there. I always just cut it. And that was not a small margin to beat either. And an autocross on the dynamic circuit. 28 seconds. Alright, let's see what we have. Through the carousel, out, around the turn. Now here we go through the corkscrew. Hung it out a little bit, and I'm actually not going to make this. So obviously I'm going to have to drive that one a lot better. I wasted a lot of time there, not really driving hard. So I was actually trying to ride the wall there. Obviously that didn't work. This is far too easy a goal to for me to be struggling this much on it. And I finally beat it. This car definitely doesn't have the grip that I thought it did coming around that turn there. I may need to hope I can beat one of these goals, perhaps even two, with service in the red. Stay on track and finish with some speed per lap. See how we go here. And I'm in the green. I'm very surprised that didn't foul me. Alright, only had to do one lap there. That's not bad. If you're using minimum upgrades, you may actually need a little bit more than that. When you actually do a flying lap, and I'm going to skip that video too. I hope you didn't really want to see it. Time trial, 1 minute 24 seconds. Don't go off track. This one actually is it's a good track, but it's not really one that I like to race because it's not really a racetrack. It is a test track. It has some good sections. This first section here is pretty good, even though it's a little weird having two hairpins back to back like this. But overall, and that was a foul. I'm definitely not doing very good on this this stage. Having a lot of troubles. And that's actually one of the things, what you just saw where I went off track. It's one of the difficult things because it's difficult to determine when to brake. And of course I just go blow right through the corner there too. Somebody is probably going to comment on this that I am just a terrible, terrible driver. And you might be right. I'm not doing myself any favors for thinking I'm a decent driver right now. Okay, well, I got the first one. I got on the brakes way too early there, but after going off track the time before, I wanted to be cautious. We have about 30 more seconds to finish this lap. Down through the big sweep-in turn, and now we're back on the gas, and it's straight onto the finish line from here. And I'm going to get that fairly well. I slowed it down there just in case I need to beat that time. I don't want to have to run a perfect lap in order to beat that if I have to beat it in the last stage. Almost all the way in the red. So let's see what we have here. I hope I don't have to service it. Magnus is gone. Win without going off track. Okay. 5 laps around the long course. Actually about 5.5 laps around the long course. Obviously these GT4 cars are very overmatched by this car. The GT4s are really just road cars, and the 918 Spider is it's really a supercar. So these are interesting tests. They pretty much handicap it. They make you start, you know, a half a lap or more behind the lead car, and then obviously you can't go off track. And I actually had to just run that one straight into the barrier because I wasn't going to get it stopped on the track otherwise. Didn't really want to do that. I'm driving pretty terrible. Overall, it's a really good car. I'm certainly not doing it any justice today, the way I'm using it, but the car is really good. It's used in a handful of series. It's a good weekly time trial car. It does show up every now and then. What you'll figure out if you do the weekly time trials, you get to a point that it's a lot of the same cars come up over and over again. The Ferrari FXXK has showed up 2 or 3 times since it was released, and that was just maybe 7 or 8 months ago. I can't remember exactly. The Venom has showed up a few times. The P1 GTR shows up quite a bit. The Lotus 125 has showed up 2 or 3 times, and it's actually the car that came out on this week's track. It's raced around Mount Panorama, which is not really a track suited to a car like that. So it's different. I actually haven't run that race yet. Been a little bit lazy in getting that one done. So 4th place, and right on the 4th place car. Got 3 full laps to go. It's really just a matter of staying on the track now, because even if I can't catch this car in front on my own, We're actually already caught up to the back markers. I didn't figure we would catch them that fast, but we're already there. And they have a very big difficulty passing each other. So just keep it on the track. And there's actually that last chicane when we come through there again. A few updates ago, I believe they added a wall in there to prevent you from cutting that turn as much as you used to be able to. They've done that in a few places. I've seen new walls pop up. There's a place like that at the Grand Prix circuit at Silverstone where you used to be able to cut a huge amount, and I believe there was a wall added there. There was a wall added, I believe, at Brands Hatch. You can't cut the final corner there as much as you used to be. I thought I'd run off track there. I actually don't mind racing this track. It's something different. I think if anything, what this game is missing is tracks. And so once you get to a certain point, it's more of the same with a new car. And in all reality, that's not as entertaining as it could be. They released NASCAR, obviously, and I've said it before, I'm a NASCAR fan, just not on this game, and it's because it's just so repetitious. And into the wall again. Having serious troubles here. NASCAR is a lot of repetition on here because there's only 3 tracks that are really, and on again. I'm really driving terrible. But anyway, I'm going to get through it for however much gold comes out at the end. So you only have Richmond, Indianapolis, which Indianapolis was on the game before, and then Daytona. And so to me, I think if they were going to do it correctly, I don't think they needed to release every NASCAR track, because I think that's a little bit excessive because so many of them are the same. But at the very least, they should have released 6 or 8 tracks with NASCAR, and then when they came out with the V8 Supercars update, they could have released 3 or 4 tracks there instead of just giving us a different daylight condition at Mount Panorama. I felt like that was just silly. So 2 or 3 new tracks there, and then a handful of new tracks when they came out with the Formula E cars rather than just Hong Kong, even though I don't mind Hong Kong as a track. I know a lot of people hate Hong Kong, but I actually don't mind it. And we're going to service that for tomorrow. Somebody beat me at Brands Hatch. Go figure. That's a good track for the race teams event. 10 gold. Always good. Tomorrow we challenge Magnus. And of course, Chuckles there with the beautiful hair is going to tune the car. So we'll see what he's got for tomorrow. Probably nothing more than we have already, if we're being honest. And next goal opens tomorrow. Hope you're getting along well. Hope you had an easier or have an easier job on that stage than I did. Don't have to run the car into walls and do stages 3 or 4 times. Let me know how you're getting on. Leave a comment, and I'll answer any questions you have.